Welcome. Once more, we invite you to listen to the scriptures, the gospel from today's Mass, and for us to reflect on it together. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. When Jesus came into the territory of the two demons were also coming from the tomb to meet him, and they were so savage that no one could travel by that road. And the demoniacs cried out, "What have you to do with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torment us before the appointed time?" Some distance away, a herd of many swine were feeding. The demons pleaded with Jesus, "If you drive us out, send us into that herd of swine." And he said to them, "Go then." They came out and entered the swine, and the whole herd rushed down the steep bank into the sea, where they were drowned. The swineherders ran away, and when they came to the town, they reported everything, including what happened to the demoniacs. Thereupon the whole town came out to meet Jesus. When they saw him, they begged him to leave their district. The Gospel of the Lord. One of the dramatic scenes of the scriptures would make a good movie. These two possessed people coming, having a reputation of being violent. People were afraid to go along the road. And they see Jesus and said, "Have you come here to drive us out? And if so, can we go into that herd of swine?" So Jesus says, "Go ahead." And the swine, of course, vividly become possessed, run down the slope into the sea, and are destroyed. That's the miracle. It's visual, it's dramatic, it has a lot of lessons. But then all of a sudden, almost as an afterthought, the swineherders who were hired by the town, who owned the flock or the herd as a corporate entity, so to speak, they went into the owners and said, "The herd is destroyed." And the townspeople, all of them, come out and say to Jesus, "Would you leave?" I was thinking about that. He did them a favor, I presume. They were threatened. They couldn't go along this road with the demoniacs there for fear of their lives. And here they've been delivered from this threat. And then it dawns on me that the people who came out owned the herd of swine. Their livelihood was just impinged upon, if not damaged severely. Never mind that swine were a religious prohibition. But the fact of the matter is, that's what prompted them to come out, agitated. And their solution, "Please go away. We don't want to hear your teaching." I thought myself in these last days, especially when I read the newspapers or listen to whatever news I might be listening to, so much is going on. There's the race tensions. There's the Black Lives Matter movement. There's violence. There's all sorts of problems with the environment that we're being told about, that it's international, not just local. This climate control. We have a whole population of homeless people in the world who are starving. It's all overwhelming. I'm not talking about what my political reaction may be or how I would approach these difficulties. But two questions come to mind, and I wonder if we could reflect on it today, each of us. One is how much do any of these or any one of these issues take up my attention at all? And if it does, or if many of them do, I wonder whether or not the gospel teaching, the message of Jesus, impacts on my thoughts and my resolutions at all. Do I feel even remotely concerned? Am I a bystander more than a participant, even emotionally? I must confess, in my own case, I've gone through the newspapers and just shake my head sometimes and say, what's this world coming to? And never think about solutions. But I must say, too, that when I do stop, reflect, maybe even pray, it's disturbing. It's really easier to say to Jesus and his teaching, go away. It's too much. There's so many problems, I don't know what to do. And the question is not one of solution, but compassion, sensitivity. Am I part of the human family? Are these people, whatever side they may be on these issues, considered my brothers and sisters? Do I let the gospel message in any way, on any level, touch the way I respond? Whether I'm this political party or that political party, it really doesn't matter. But this rugged individualism, this I've got rights and no responsibility, where I see people holding guns against neighbors who are walking on their property because their violating of rights is going on. It comes to terms then to what are we? What are our connections? Are we related at all? What is the common denominator that connects us? And as people of faith, people reflecting on the gospel, we can't afford to say to Jesus on any level, go away. For there is solution. There is salvation. Not an easy formula. Sometimes his solutions seem difficult. But the fact is that if it's not, the resolution of these problems are not resolved with love and compassion, with respect for one another, then I don't know that there is a solution. And so while I may be caught up in the gospel and the miracle, where I had the herd of swine running and destroying themselves, maybe the disturbing part of the gospel is that I identify with the townspeople. Go away, Jesus. Your teaching bothers me. It challenges me. It upsets me. You're asking me to be loving and compassionate. You're asking me to be a witness of your love in the world in which I live, in my village, in my family, in my location. I hope that you're continuing to stay safe and that your health is good, that we also continue to pray for one another and go forward with faith, knowing that Jesus is with us this day.